Hey everyone, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Crystal Kennedy, and this is the show where we bring you the day's biggest movie news with insight into what it all means. Joining me, as always, is AMC Movie News Senior Editor, Mr. John Campia.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. It has come. The day has come. It is Man of Steel Day. We're all going to go see Man of Steel tonight at midnight. I've been waiting for this. So excited for it. I'm just going to give you a heads up, though, about tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's Friday's show. We're going to just talk Man of Steel tomorrow. We're going to talk Man of Steel up, down, left, right, and sideways. Probably going to get a lot into the spoilers. And we're going to put a warning at the beginning, spoilers. So I don't want to hear any of you cry that I gave away spoilers, because I'm telling you right now, we're going to talk spoilers tomorrow too. I'm just going to talk about we're just going to talk about the movie. Up, down, left, right, and sideways. Watch it tomorrow or save it for a day or two until you have a chance to see it. But that's going to be tomorrow's show. I'm really excited about it.
I'm sad I'm going to miss that, and also find it oddly that you sounded a little bit like Matthew McConaughey when you went into that a little bit. We also have special guests today. Our production supervisor here at AMC, Mr. Dennis Sang.
How are you guys doing? Happy Man of Steel Day.
Man of Steel Day.
Excited to see it tonight.
Yay. All right, let's get started with this. Buffy the Vampire Slayer writer and producer Marti Noxon has signed on to rewrite MGM and GK Films' upcoming Tomb Raider reboot. The game franchise recently rebooted their series, and it is not yet known if the new movie will follow the storyline of the new game or it's going to create something new. John, what do you think of the selection of Noxon for Tomb Raider?
I'm dubious. I'm dubious about this selection because here's the thing about Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, I believe, is another one of those game franchises that does not suit for a movie. That being said, because I don't think the story's there, but Lara Croft is a character you can build a movie around. And so, yeah, I was positive when I heard that they were going to reboot this whole franchise and have this character reintroduced. I'm not so excited about the name of Nixon in this, because this is the same writer. Yeah, she did like 28 episodes of Buffy, probably over the span of the entire series. So obviously she knows how to write strong female characters. But she also did I Am Number 4. Yeah. And she also wrote the latest Fright Night, which I kind of liked. I thought it was better than the original. But I'm not thrilled with either of those outings. Even though I also didn't really mind I Am Number 4, but that's just about it. It's a meandering, I don't mind her work. And I don't know if the style that she brought to Buffy and I Am Number 4 and stuff like that is the style I want for a rebooted Croft movie, you know? So, look, as in all things, let's give it a shot. Let's wait and see. I'm just telling you, my in advance feelings about this are not so positive. I'm not real excited about this selection, but we'll see how she does. Dennis, you see a name like Nixon on this. Does it increase, decrease? What are your thoughts right now about the whole Tomb Raider reboot?
I like the choice. I mean, I don't know if I love it. I did like her work on Buffy. I didn't watch Fright Night or I Am Number 4, so I can't really judge on her movie outings. As far as a Tomb Raider reboot, I like it just because I'm playing the current one, the latest version, and it actually has a lot more story. It's kind of like an origin story for Lara Croft. So I think the way that game is going, I think there's something there. It's kind of like an Indiana Jones meets Lost type of feel to it. Okay. So I'll give it a chance.
It's funny, my brother-in-law played, he gave me a call. I said, John, I just played like the demo of the new Lara Croft game. It's the best game I've ever played, and it's just the demo. And he was really excited. So,
I love Tomb Raider, and I loved Buffy, but then you look at the rest, and it's like an episode of Glee, an episode of Grey's Anatomy. It's like
she's done a lot of TV work. Yeah,
it's scary. Two new significant trailers have hit in the last couple of days. First is the latest Wolverine trailer, which gives us a little more insight into the actual story of the upcoming film, and the very first 300 Rise of an Empire trailer, giving us our first look at the movie. John, what do you think about each trailer, and which one's better?
The Wolverine trailers is really solid. You're right. It gives us a lot more of the story, I think. I mean, it doesn't give us a lot more facts that we didn't already have, but it kind of lays... This is the first Wolverine trailer that feels like it's laying out narrative for us. And I really liked it. I mean, you get a little bit more insight into the dying guy who's called Logan in. He wants to give him the gift of mortality and all this kind of stuff. But now we realize there's a little bit more to it. It's just a great looking trailer. I love the look of this film. I'm so excited about Wolverine. The 300 trailer is now. I actually got a look at about 10 minutes of 300 Rise of an Empire a few months ago when I was at CinemaCon in Vegas. They showed us a whole bunch. And I think this trailer puts to rest that whole question is this a prequel? A lot of people keep telling me, people have been yelling at me in the comment section when I talk about the sequel to 300. No, John, it's a prequel. It's a No, it's not. This is a sequel. Just watch, you'll see. And I kept telling them, look, you haven't yet seen what I saw at CinemaCon, but now you kind of get a glimpse of what we saw at CinemaCon. And I got to admit, this trailer is a bit better than what they showed us at CinemaCon. I'm looking at, because what I saw at CinemaCon, it felt like a cheap attempt at doing a 300 sequel. I look at this trailer and I'm like, okay, this is a little more refined. This is cut together a bit better. And I have a little bit more faith in it, having watched this trailer, than I did just watching a very loose collection of footage. That's all they could have prepared for us at CinemaCon a number of months ago. So, which is better? The Wolverine trailer is better because it's more coherent. It gives us more of what we're going to be looking at. And I do like the fact that the Wolverine marketing has also not been as good as Man of Steel, but it's been very well paced. They've been showing us a little bit and then a little bit and then a little bit and ramping it up, never giving us too much. And I think they're doing a really good job with the marketing. 300, we're just at the beginning of the marketing cycle. It's not coming until 2014. So it's still a long ways off. We'll see how that goes. Dennis, what do you think about the look of these two trailers?
I like them both. I do also agree with you that the Wolverine is the better trailer. The narrative is there. It's kind of, in the beginning, it's kind of like letters from Iwo Jima. I was like, hey, this isn't a Wolverine movie. But yeah, the 300 one actually surprised me. It does look better than it did a few months ago.
Yeah.
Especially because now that you see Lena Headey in it, you see like, okay, she's going to take up arms, to get revenge, for her husband's death. And so I'm actually looking more forward to it than I previously anticipated.
Yeah, me too.
The 300 trailer was beautiful.
Yeah, it did look really nice.
Looking at it was beautiful, but Wolverine gets you excited.
Yeah. All right, folks, we've reached that part of the show for Buy and Sell. Here's how this works. In front of her, Crystal Lee's got a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to list them off, and then Dennis and I are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Crystal Lee, what do we got?
Film District announced today that the upcoming Ryan Reynolds film Selfless will hit theaters on September 26, 2014. Selfless is described as an unconventional sci-fi thriller about a terminally ill billionaire who buys a chance for eternal life through an experimental underground medical procedure called shedding, which transfers his consciousness into the cadaver of a younger man. But the promise of immortality turns into a nightmare when he experiences flashbacks, which begin to reveal the disturbing origins of the body he now inhabits. The film is being directed by Tarsim Singh. John, buy or sell the sounds of Selfless?
Yeah, my feelings on this one haven't really changed a lot than they were not so long ago. Look, I'm a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. I think he's a tremendously underrated and underappreciated actor. His acting talent is superb. Some people who don't think that much just associate, if an actor's in a bad film, that means they're a bad actor. Oh, I didn't like Green Lantern. That means Ryan Reynolds isn't a good actor. You simply don't know what you're talking about, so there's no discussing this with you. Ryan Reynolds is a world-class acting talent. He just is. But I'm not so big on Tarsim Singh as a director. I have not been real happy with anything this guy has produced yet. Look, I kind of liked Immortals. I liked Immortals. But I also had the feeling watching that film, you get this every once in a while, that this would be a better movie if it had a different director. And I really felt that a lot watching this stuff. So while this whole thing sounds really interesting, it's got Ryan Reynolds, but then it's got Tarsim Singh. It's a balancing act for me. I'm still going to lean towards buy, but just barely. I'd be more enthusiastic if it wasn't Tarsim Singh. Dennis, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to sell it because of Tarsim Singh. He visually, he's a great director, but
beautiful.
Narratively, he just can't put a story together. And Immortals, I thought it was like okay. So I actually like the concept that this movie is, about. But yeah, because of the director, I have to sell it.
All right.
Have faith in Ryan Reynolds. Speaking of release dates, Open Road has set May 9th, 2014 as a release date for the upcoming Jon Favreau film Chef. Chef is the story of Carl Casper, Favreau, who loses his chef job and cooks up a food truck business in hopes of reestablishing his artistic promise. At the same time, he tries to reconnect with his estranged family. The film also stars Sofia Vergara, Scarlett Johansson, John Leguizamo, and Robert Downey Jr. John, buy or sell the May 9th release date for Chef?
I'm going to sell it. Now, here's the odd thing. Now, some people say to me, John, you're talking a lot about this movie Chef. That's the best thing about being the boss. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. And I'm excited about this movie. But I'm going to sell this release date. Look, in the last couple of years, the beginning of May has become the de facto official start of the summer movie season. I don't know what's in Favreau's head, but I'm looking at all this stuff that I like. I'm hearing the description of this movie. I love the cast. I love John as an actor, even more than as a director. I'm really looking forward to this film. I don't think this is the right release date for it. I think this is a November, December release. That's what I think about when I look at this film. Beginning of the summer movie. I mean, basically, you're talking about releasing this film the same time they release Iron Man. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me for this as a release date. So for that reason, I sell it. Dennis?
Yeah, I'm going to sell it as well. I think they should push it up like maybe a month or two before the summer season hits. I don't know about the fall just because, you know, that's kind of when the Oscar contenders start coming.
Oh, that's
you know?
true too,
so, yeah. I have to sell it.
All right.
It's official. Transformers 4 is really happening. Reports have come out that the new film has started shooting in Taylor, Texas, and is currently set for a June 27th, 2014 release date. John, buy or sell production starting on Transformers 4?
I buy it. I mean, look, as much as I think they've completely pooched the last number of Transformers movies, I'm still a big fan of the first Transformers. And I still believe that Michael Bay is a director to give us the explosions. They've really, really pooched the last few Transformers movies. The one hesitancy I've got about this is that this movie is coming out in 1 year. 1 year. And they just started production. This is a visual effects post-production heavy film. I am flabbergasted about how on earth, coming from a visual effects background, how on earth are you going to have this movie ready in time? I just don't know. But yeah, they better start now, so I buy it. Dennis?
Yeah, I mean, I buy that they're starting it because they better start working on it now. I mean, it's a franchise that makes money, you know, even though I didn't really care for the last two movies. I'm not really looking forward to it, but for all the people who did enjoy it, I think it's a buy.
All right.
And you're going to go see it, even if you're not
Yes,
looking forward to
Yes,
it.
we are.
It's Transformers. Yeah. Tom Hanks has signed on to play a headlining role in an upcoming adaptation of Dave Eggers' novel, A Hologram for the King. Variety reports that Hanks will reteam with his Cloud Atlas director, Tom Tykwer. The project is described as follows. In a rising Saudi Arabian city, far from weary, recession-scarred America, a struggling businessman pursues a last-ditch attempt to stave off foreclosure, pay his daughter's college tuition, and finally do something great. In A Hologram for the King, Dave Eggers takes us around the world to show how one man fights to hold himself and his splintering family together in the face of the global economy's gale force winds. John, buy or sell the sounds of A Hologram for the King?
Can't believe I'm saying this about a Tom Hanks film. I sell this. I go to the movies to get away from the sucky reality of everything going on around us. Most of us do. That doesn't mean we don't like good artistic portrayals of reality. We do. But this just sounds depressing. And adding to the depression of all this is these multi-billionaires making a movie about how everything sucks and is hard. I mean, no. So I love Tom Hanks. I like the Transformers. I'm going to be there to see it. But for that reason, I got to sell this, Dennis.
I buy it. I mean, I like Tom Hanks and Tom Tykwer. Like, I didn't see Cloud Atlas, so I can't really judge on that. But I did like Run Lola Run, which he did. And yeah, I mean, the synopsis of the movie, it doesn't sound that interesting, but I think they can pull it out.
I'm sure they can. All right, folks, we reached that part of the show for Mailbag. Listen, if you've got a topic or a question that you would like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. Now, look, We get about 200 questions from you guys a day. We only have time to do 2 or 3 questions here on this show. So we've started another show called AMC Mailbag. And on that show, all we do, it's a lot more casual. We just sit back and talk movies based on just your questions. So we get a lot more of them there. So send in your question. Maybe we can address it here on AMC Movie Talk. Maybe we can address it on Mailbag. But for now, Chrisley's got a few messages from the mailbag pulled out. Chrisley, what do we got?
Richard Carl writes, "Hey guys, love the show. I haven't missed an episode since I started watching. My question is, since World War Z is opening 1 week after Man of Steel, do you think Man of Steel has any chance claiming the box office 2 weekends in a row? Thanks and keep up the great work."
Not a chance. Not a chance. There's still some people that believe that Man of Steel, as excited as I am for it, and I think it's going to be great, that Man of Steel is going to make $180 million this week. It's just not going to. I set the over and under line at 110 million, and I'm picking the under. I think it's going to make under 110 million. That is no reflection on the quality of the movie. It's just I just think there's a lot of forces going on. I've talked about it before that make Man of Steel have an uphill battle to fight. The Man of Steel sequel will make a lot more on its opening weekend, I have no doubt. But a lot of people are forgetting. There's this other little movie that opened up yesterday called This Is the End. That is freaking hilarious. In my opinion, best comedy of the year so far. It's really good, and it's going to attract a lot of people to go see it. Now, obviously, Man of Steel is going to win the weekend box office, no doubt. But the question is, will it be number 1 2 weeks in a row? Because it's opening against World War Z. Well, guess what? World War Z ain't going to be number 1 at the box office next weekend either. Because another little film is opening up called Monsters University by Pixar. So you've got Man of Steel opening against This Is the End, and then going into next week has got World War Z and Monsters University. Now look, the following week, if you swapped the next 2 weeks, maybe Man of Steel could stay number 1 2 weeks in a row, because the following week, the 2 films that open are White House Down and The Heat, with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy that's been showing us the same trailer for 7 months. And I believe, we talk about how Man of Steel and Wolverine have been doing a great job with marketing. The Heat has sucked. They gave us this amazing first trailer. So good, that trailer. And everybody liked it. Let's just play it for 7 months. And now it's like, I saw the trailer again the other day. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, didn't that movie already come out? And like, that's how bad the marketing for this has been. I thought it came out already. And they've just been showing us the same trailer. Anyway, if The Heat and White House Down was coming out next week, I'd say yes, there's a pretty good chance Man of Steel could still end up being number 1 at the box office 2 weeks in a row. But opening against This Is the End, and then next week going into World War Z and Monsters University, no, it won't be number 1 2 weeks in a row. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't have to be. But I don't think it will. Dennis, you see this any differently?
No, I think World War Z is highly anticipated. It's Brad Pitt, and it's like a
love novel. People love the novel.
Yeah, and it's a zombie movie, which is hot right now with The Walking Dead and everything else. And also, the marketing campaign behind it has been pretty big. I've seen a lot of advertisements.
Yeah, especially lately.
Yeah, so no, I don't think Man of Steel has a chance at getting the number 1 spot the following weekend.
All right.
Louis Antonio writes, "Hey AMC crew, love the show. Anyways, I was thinking about the fact that when Disney bought Lucasfilm, they not only acquired the rights to Star Wars, but also to Indiana Jones. I remember a while back that Disney wanted to trade the rights of Daredevil in exchange for the rights to Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Galactus from Fox. But Fox didn't want to. How about trading Indiana Jones for the F4? I mean, Disney doesn't seem like they'll use Indy anytime soon, and Fox could easily make boatloads of cash by either rebooting the franchise with a new lead or continue where Crystal Skull left off and have Shia LaBeouf inherit the franchise. What do you guys think?"
No. No. Okay, let's start with this. The Indiana Jones situation is a little bit different than the Star Wars situation. Indiana Jones, while Disney does have the intellectual property rights to Indiana Jones, Paramount still owns the distribution rights for Indiana Jones. So any film, as of right now, any film that Disney does, any Indiana Jones film that Disney does, Paramount automatically gets to be the distributor. So that makes it less appealing for them. I'm sure in the next 5 years, I'm sure they'll work something out with Paramount to correct and fix this situation. But as of right now, distribution rights belong with Paramount. So if Disney suddenly traded Indiana Jones to Fox, well, Fox is going to be saddled with that same problem. Paramount still has the distribution rights. So it's less appealing. That being said, even with this division of rights right now, with Paramount holding the distribution rights, Indiana Jones is an infinitely more valuable intellectual property than Fantastic Four. There's no comparison. It's not like, oh yeah, this one just beats it by a lot. No. It's like, here's Fantastic Four somewhere in Idaho, and then here's Indiana Jones on the peak of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. I mean, they're worlds apart. Indiana Jones is a far more valuable property. There's no way Disney would ever even dream about parting with the rights to Indiana Jones. And when they do eventually move forward with Indiana Jones, you don't do it with Shia LaBeouf. Everybody hated Crystal Skull. And that includes anybody associated with it. When they do the next Indiana Jones film, it will be a reboot. And it's going to be worth it. It's totally going to be worth it to do. So all that put together, no. I mean, if you're Fox, you take that deal in a second. Even with the Paramount thing, because Indiana Jones way more valuable, relevant, popular than Fantastic Four. Dennis, how do you see this?
Yeah, when I first read the question, that's the first thing I thought of was Indiana Jones is way more valuable than Fantastic. Fantastic Four is not even a proven box office money-making franchise. You know, as far as a reboot, I would love to see Nathan Fillion in an Indiana Jones reboot.
That'd be great.
He'd be perfect. I mean, obviously Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones, but if they had to, Nathan Fillion.
The only reason I ever hesitate saying Nathan Fillion for Indiana Jones is because I am guilty of mentioning Nathan Fillion for a lot of different stuff. I think Nathan Fillion should be Ant-Man. I thought Nathan Fillion should be Star-Lord in the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think Nathan Fillion should be Abraham Lincoln. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think Nathan Fillion should be anything. But you are absolutely right. That dude was born to replace Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. So I'd be totally down for that.
Oh, he'd be so great for that. Michael Woods writes, hi guys at AMC Movie Talk. I love the show. My question is, do you think we'll see a sequel to Wanted with James McAvoy becoming a movie star? I think it should very well happen. I love the first Wanted, and it's one of the few movies I bought on Blu-ray. What are your thoughts?
I love Wanted. I love that movie. I enjoy that movie like an awful lot. I've watched it probably about 10 times at home. This is a terrific franchise. It's a terrific story. It's got great mythology to it. Now, about the question of a sequel, they've been trying to get a sequel going for quite a long time. And then I think they had the wheels kind of in motion, and then the director who did the first one stepped away from it to go do Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer, or Vampire, whatever that horrible piece of garbage was called. So that kind of took the wheels off. They were trying to get Angelina Jolie to come back. If you've seen the first Wanted, that's a difficult thing to do. But they were trying to get her back, and then she kind of declined it and walked away from it. So that changed plans again. Now, about a year ago, the studio still decided to move forward, and they got the original screenwriting team to come back and start to develop the script for a sequel. That was a year ago. We haven't really heard much since then. As far as I know, they still want to make a Wanted 2. It's just not actually on the books yet. Dennis, what do you think about Wanted, and have you heard anything else about the possible sequel?
I had mixed feelings about Wanted. I liked the action in it. You know, I thought the characters were cool. I thought Morgan Freeman was out of place, you know, especially when he was swearing at the end. I was laughing. I haven't really heard much about the sequel. I think it's kind of too late, don't you think? Like, it kind of had that heat when it first came out, and it's been a long time.
I think, I don't know that it's too late, but I think the window is closing. They would have to do something soon if they're going to do anything at all. Yeah. All right, folks, well, listen, that's all the time that we have for today. I got to start getting ready for Man of Steel tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, while I've got you, before you do anything else, stop what you're doing and click that subscribe button. Become a subscriber to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It'll absolutely keep you up to date on everything going on in the world of movie news. And, of course, our daily AMC Movie Talk show and now our new AMC Mailbag show. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AMC Theaters. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/AMC Theaters. And listen, on those channels and on our Instagram, find us somewhere. We're going to be tweeting out a bunch of pictures tonight about all of our adventures with Man of Steel this evening. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to thank, as always, our lovely host, Miss Chris Lee Kennedy.
Thanks for having me.
I love your shirt. Stand up a little bit.
Man of Steel ready. Wait, computer closed. Man of Steel ready.
Woohoo! As always, our production manager, the man behind the curtain, Mr. Dennis Zen. Dennis?
Man of Steel.
And most of all, thank you to you guys. Listen, the most important part of the show is what you have to say. Make sure you jump into the comment section of this video and leave your thoughts on any or all the topics we talked about here today. Agree, disagree, doesn't matter. That's the fun part about being movie fans. We get to debate this stuff. So until next time, until after I see Man of Steel, thank you so much for joining us. My name is John Campea for AMC Movie News, and until then, bye-bye.